Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, so sometime later, I just had an opportunity to do a little bit of work, so I'm doing it. So what I've done is I've cleaned this up a little bit, and now I'm getting ready to change our distance calculator. So I'll just show you what I got here. So eventually, the cache will update at different intervals, and so will the XP on the screen. But I thought now that we're getting to the point where we're going to start giving rewards to the player, we want to be able to track that on the screen instead of here. So that's what we're doing. What I also did was made it so that way the distance calculator updates more frequently, and what that will do is it will turn the arrow more frequently to where we want to get to. So the next step is to figure out how to program the arrow for different destinations. So I had two ideas for that. We'll go over it and see which one works. So essentially what's happening is we're pinging the server over and over and over again, and the server is giving us the distance between where we are and where we want to go to. And now why is that? Well, that's because the distances are so great. They're greater than the client render distance. The client render distance is 1,000 studs. So for example, right now, from where I am in the city, I want to go to, so first we'll do this, so that updates this. Alright, you see how the arrow changed, everything updated here? And then look at the distance, it's 12,000 studs. That's going to take me to the center of the map. Only to the center. If I was to go from here to the port, it'd be double that. So that's cool, right? And seeing it updates, all this kind of stuff. So now what I want to do is I want to adapt this so it works with the player or with the cars, right? Eventually this is going to work with everything. We'll slowly have to, right? But now I have to figure out what's the best way to design that. So we can, I think, have preset variables, but I don't think that's the way to do it. What I think is it's already programmed. We just have to press the calculate button. So what we need to do is find, there's a couple of things that work here, right? A couple of things that work here. One, we need a respawn script for the car. And two, alright, so one thing at a time. We want to be able to get the distance from the player to the car so we can tow it. So this is where we kind of, we're heading in two different directions, right? So we can either create a separate interface where the player goes to a destination, they activate the interface, or we, Alright, I'm going to make something just a little different here. Okay, so in the mini-map, we're going to insert an object, a frame. We're going to put another frame in here, in our thingy, okay? And then, this is going to be our tow frame. Let's just call this our tow frame for now. Alright, and now inside the tow frame, we're going to insert object. Let's insert another frame. Do we want this to be a frame, or do we want it to be, okay, so perhaps instead we're going to insert object text button. Yeah, all right. All right, let's just make this really. We'll do that, and then we'll duplicate it. All right, and actually, what we'll do is we'll insert object. We'll see a list. There we go, and then this here is gonna be horizontal. I'll make it vertical. Sure, and then sort order, layout order. All right. Let's see. This will be cars. This will be trucks. Just as an example, and so on and so forth. So this is our tow window. We could say insert object, text, text label. Oh, you know what? Can I do? Because I sorted it wrong. There we go. All right, so this can be bold, and this will just be our text, our tow screen. Okay, now this is obviously going to be better. It's going to be different. You're going to log in, etc., etc. It's going to be totally different things. So we click on cars. I guess it's auto saving at this very moment. Alright, so we'll insert a frame. Now in this frame, we can insert an object. I don't know what we want to, let's see, maybe a image label. Alright, and that's going to be updated to the car. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take pictures of the cars, and I'll have to have them maybe in the replicated storage, and then when you open this up and click on the cars, and then it'll be like delinquent cars, and then there will be a picture of this car here, for example, right? That's what it's going to be there. So what I'm getting at is that, and then below that, then we're going to insert an object. We need another text button. Okay, now this button here is going to be our tow button. And then let's see, and then here let's go insert object. Let's see, a frame, but we want a scrolling frame. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this here. Alright, and so in here, we're going to insert object, a list. Okay, and then we're going to insert an object, another text button. Okay, and then this is going to be, we'll call it sedan. Alright, and then that's what it's going to be. So you click on the sedan, it's going to update the picture here to the vehicle where it is on the map. Then when you press the button, this is going to be called the tow vehicle button. Now, we're going to go over the distance calculate, blah, 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 all those functions. So when we press the calculate button, wherever it is. Okay. It activates this thing here, and then it activates two other scripts. And all the scripts will do is they will update our X and Z position and our distance. It just pings the server over and over and over again. So what we want to do, though, it pings to a specific location. And that's the problem right now. So when we go into our server script service and we look at distance, so now this one here is just blank distance. So what we would need to do is two things. We need a remote event. So we should say insert folder, and we'll call this tow cars, and then we're going to insert an object, remote event, and we're going to call this sedan A, and then that way we can have multiple vehicles. So then when it comes to distance, we can duplicate this. We can actually group this into a folder, and we can call this car distances, like whatever it is, and then this will be sedan A. So now what it's going to do, the event is going to be replicated storage .towcars .sedan A, and then what it's going to do is it's going to find on the workspace, see here where it says distance A, it's actually going to find we can just use this part here, even the tow part. So this is going to be called sedan A, and what we're going to do is we're going to look for game.workspace, let's see, .towcars .sedan A, and then we can say .tow part. Why not? .tow part, and then we have to do that here. So we have to say .towcars .sedan A .tow part. And then that should calculate for us and it will update the minimap. Now, in order to make this continuous, we have to spam the server. So in order to do that, I think it's auto-saving again. Alright, so in order to do that, where are we here? In the tow vehicle. So we can take this and we can copy that tow vehicle, paste into. We just need a value, right? So we can say, while this value is true, do these things. And that's all it is. Script .parent to activate .value, and that's it. So but what we need to do is we need to find this now. So to be script .parent .parent .parent. So that'll be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And this will be game.replicated storage dot tocars dot sedan a, and then it'll fire the server on that. That solves one problem. The other problem will be the respawning of the car, and I'm not too sure how we're going to handle that yet. So let's save this for a minute. And of course, the screen is going to, I'm actually going to go get a coffee here after this because I have a lot more work to do, but the screen is going to change, and then this is just a scrolling screen, so that way we can add more vehicles to the list. So this is our car list, right? I think this is really cool. And we could do the same with the trash bins, like whatever. All I'm doing is just showing, like, I just think this is really cool. So it's saved. Now we're going to press play. Now what it should do is it should give us the distance, and it should change the radar. It should update everything to where the sedan is. Now, I was looking at this earlier, and I was looking at Google, and I was checking out, I just asked it how to calculate, like, to make a route. And there's actually a function we can use in Roblox if we set up some waypoints, which will allow us to draw. It'll give us, it's interesting, it'll draw like a particle route for us. So maybe in one of the upcoming videos I'll try just in like a new version, just to see if we can add that, see how it works. Yeah, that's something for the future, definitely future. But it'll draw a particle route for the player to follow to the destination, on top of giving them the mini map, etc., etc., right? Alright, so we're in the game. So now, if I press that... Oh, it gave me an error. That still works. Frame is not a valid member of player GUI. Oh, I went too far. Went too far. Added one parent. So instead of 5, I only needed 4 to get out of there. Is it auto saving? What's going on? Yeah, auto saving. Alright, let's see. Line 9. I guess 1 too many. Nothing wrong with the frequent autosaves. As much as I complain, it's probably a good idea. You can do a lot in a short amount of time and lose it in a short amount of time. Yeah, I just thought, all things being what they are, we need to help the player move around the map. So I'm like, okay, well, we need a way to independently find, because there's going to be missions that you just find traveling around the map, and then there's going to be missions that you'll need to go to, which I think is cool. Same thing. If I'm going to do taxi missions, how do we get the player to navigate to where the destination is? Right? They need to be able to find it. So this is a great way of doing that. You'll see here with this. All right, so it should hopefully once we're loaded. Oh, it did two things. Uh, so it's pointing me towards the car, as you can see, and then look, if we go this way, see how the arrow is turning? The problem is the distance is miscalculated. So we need to figure that out. One thing worked, and then if we press the button again, then it should stop calculating, and then we're back to, yeah, exactly. And same with that, which I think is cool. Awesome. All right, so now we need to figure out why it miscalculated the distance. Probably because in the distance calculation, I'm using the value from the part in the workspace, wherein I need to be referencing the car. That's probably what it is. So, and then, yeah, and then, let's see here. That'll be, what script will that be? Yeah, see, we're using the wrong, it should be, this one here. And this one here. And then for, we'll just do that. That will give us our distance. Perfect. Now, as far as text, and then Y, and then we want this one here to be there we go. All right, let's try that. Hopefully that's fingers crossed. Now, we're firing this from the tow car button. We still don't have a way of selecting the different cars. We still don't have a way to do that. So that's what I'm thinking. Either Yeah. When we press sedan, it's going to have to show a picture and it's going to have to show a button. So each car is going to have a tow car button. Just, yeah, that's basically how that's going to have to work. And I think that'll be fine. So this button here, the sedan button, the car selector is going to change this picture here, and it's going to change this button here. Yeah, I guess we could. I guess we could do that. We just have to have a bunch of buttons. Yeah, we can do that. That'll work. Okay, so here we're gonna try. There we go. Ooh, I like that. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Now we're right in front of it. Okay. So that worked. So now what I need to do is finish this screen, make it so that way I can... We need a button to activate the tow screen, wherever that's going to be. Perhaps where it says spawn car, spawn tow, expand map. I think somewhere in there we'll have our tow screen. Or what would be better, I think, is an additional button beside the show UI button, which is for jobs. I like that. And then when you click on it, it'll show you the jobs. And that's where you can select what you are. Do you want to be a garbage man? Do you want to be this, that, I think that'd be really neat. So that is going to do it for this video. It's 3 a.m. I'm going to go get a coffee. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. Again, yeah, we're getting there. Okay, as you can see, I'm slowly working on the screens now, finally. Once these are in, you know, it'll be good. But yeah, I think this is something that we needed. So we can now select the cars, right? Cars, trucks, whatever. So I'll have to just code that, take some pictures. Yeah. And then, like I said, then you could do the same thing for the trash bins, even. Select a community, select an area, and then spawn bins. Ooh, that's actually really exciting. That's a really good idea. Perfect. I like it. Thank you once again for watching, liking, and subscribing. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Kids included. Thank you so much.